Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Shannon Holmes. I'm a medical physicist here at Standard Imaging, and it's my pleasure today to be able to talk to you about the Adaptivo software. Make sure this system, there we go. These are some of my Standard Imaging family, and what brings us to work each day, I'm sure, is what affects you as well, is the question of what if it were me? What if it were a member of my family, my child, my mother, my grandfather, any of that? Those loved ones, if they were the ones who were diagnosed with cancer, we would want the absolute best treatments for them, the best quality equipment, and the best facilities. And so we are proud to be part of that, to be a leading manufacturer of these quality assurance products to help make treatments better for your family as well as others. So I am recording the webinar today. Hopefully there aren't any network issues. I know there's a lot of web traffic for remote sessions right now, but we will be sending out a recording. So if there are any issues with your sound quality or picture quality, you can certainly watch the recording later or share with a colleague if you'd like to. I guess I have a kind of a snowy picture of Standard Imaging right now. We're based in Middleton, Wisconsin. It did snow yesterday, but most of that's completely melted off now. I should replace this with a more springy picture. Standard Imaging was founded in 1989 and has been growing ever since. We do design and manufacture a full suite of QA products right here at on site. If you do have any questions as I'm going through my discussion, please feel free to enter them in that GoToMeeting dialog box, and I will certainly circle around to them at the end of my talk. So what is Adaptivo? It's three things really. It's pre-treatment QA, just using your portal imager. So if you're still using a Phantom, this would eliminate that setup time and the creation of the Phantom plan. And you can verify your plan delivery just with that portal imager measurement. The second thing Adaptivo does is daily exit dose monitoring to look at both the beam delivery and the effects of the patient position on that delivery. All of the data are analyzed automatically, imported into Adaptivo and analyzed through connection with your R&V system. And we have some good troubleshooting and report generation tools within the software as well. The third portion of Adaptivo is where we do our 3D dose calculations for both daily and cumulative dose analysis, so that you can see the effect of either anatomy changes or the setup variations that we know happen, how those really affect a patient's treatment. We preset Adaptivo with some Quantec and RTOG-based evaluation parameters, but you can certainly edit those or add new protocols, whatever is required for your clinic. So what we're really doing here is we're giving a view into something that has been largely unknown in radiation therapy up until now, and that is what really, where is that dose really going, and how do those doses change as a result of the variations in daily setup and anatomy that we know happen with our patients. We do a lot of machine QA. We have things down to 1/10 of a millimeter for our tolerances, and yet there's still this gaping hole in most clinics of the uncertainty that comes with that variation in patient setup. So a little bit more on the modules here. The pre-treatment module, as I said, is a very quick and easy verification of the plan delivery, just a delivery through air to the imager. And we'll give you notification. Actually, you set your notifications. And in all of Adaptivo, we try and make it as configurable as possible. So in terms of the pre-treatment deliveries, you can set if you want to be notified that any pre-treatment delivery was done, or if you only want to be notified if there was an alert or a failure that occurred. We show images of the measured treatment portal compared with or this one actually has signed gamma on it. So we do a gamma analysis between the measured image and the predicted portal image. And then we actually assign a plus or minus value to those failing pixels so that you can tell whether they failed because we measured less dose than was predicted or because we measured more dose than was predicted. which is extremely helpful in terms of troubleshooting, particularly in the some of the examples I have later for patient data. During treatment patient data. We also give you profiles comparing the measured with the predicted image, and an easy report generation. I guess I don't have a printout of that here, but if you have looked at the beams, everything's passing, you can easily make a report. Again, those templates also are pre-configured within Adaptivo, but we make it quite easily customizable. If you want to put things in a different order, or your clinic logo on the top, that sort of thing is quite easy. The in vivo module is our during treatment exit image monitoring. We're tracking the dose at the imager. I think I need to update that actually for terminology. There have been some new guidelines on what exit dose actually means. But we're tracking the exit image in calibrated units, comparing it with a predicted exit image that we generate based on the planning CT. So if the patient is in the position that was planned, that attenuation should match. And if there's some variation from that, whether that's from the patient positioning or from weight loss, then your measured image will not match the predicted perfectly due to that change in attenuation. We also allow you to take the daily couch position into account, so that if there's an attenuation change due to, say, a couch rail that's in the way on some of those older couches, if you don't have IGRT couches yet, that we can account for that in our prediction, and let you know that was the reason behind potentially a failing image. Again, I mentioned, I guess, the signed gamma analysis. We do that here as well. You can see in a couple of our images, there's a signed gamma over top of the planned DRR, so you have a little bit of anatomical reference for where we're seeing some of these hotter spots at the imager, as well as over top of the treatment image. Sorry, the image that's collected at the during the treatment. And as with the pre-treatment QA, you can be notified automatically either within the Adaptivo web interface, or have it emailed to you that there's a deviation that's outside your set tolerances. The adaptive module is the biggest one, and this is where we do our 3D dose calculations. We look at both the daily and the cumulative doses. So what happens here is, if using your daily cone beam CT, we create a merged CT with the cone beam and the planning image, so that we have the full geometry outside the field of view of the cone beam. We can do a calculation of dose on that cone beam CT, or that merged CT, I should say. We get contours for that merged CT by doing a deformable image registration between the planning image set and the merged CT. So you don't have to draw contours each day. That's all automated. We do that daily calculation, and then we use the same deformation map to take those doses back to the planning image in order to add together every day's dose to give you the cumulative delivered dose. So you can look at not only where did my dose go today, but also how are these variations affecting the overall quality of that dose distribution? Am I still within tolerance? Am I still delivering an acceptable dose distribution? All of these analyses are automated based on those Quantec and RTOG limits that or protocols that we've put into Adaptivo, or yours that you have entered, based on those DVH curves. And as with the other modules, of course, we detect when a new delivery has been given, pull in all of the requisite information, do the calculation, and then the results appear on your dashboard, or you get notified if there's something out of tolerance. We are presenting a very clear and informative dashboard. You can see a little bit of an example here on the right. I guess I didn't include the daily image stuff, but for the cone beam, flags are generated based on the structure that violated one of those dose protocols. We have 3 different types of flags that are generated. One is for the plan dose, and this means that something about your plan dose distribution was out of tolerance at the time that we first brought the plan into Adaptivo. The daily dose flag, I should say about the plan, that may have been something that the physician knew about or was comfortable with. It was a compromise they had to make due to the location of the tumor next to a critical structure. Say in this head and neck patient, we're sacrificing one of the parotid glands because of the location of the tumor. But it's something that did violate the tables, the tolerance tables in Adaptivo. We want to bring it to your attention just in case it really was something that was missed. The daily dose flags tell you that something about the daily dose distributions violated those tolerances, and the cumulative dose flags to me is one of the most powerful pieces of this software, and they indicate that something is on track to be out of tolerance. They're actually a predictive flag. So based on the doses that you have delivered thus far, you're on track to be out of tolerance by the end of the planned course of treatment, and it will inform you how far out of tolerance that would be, so that hopefully you have enough early warning to be able to catch those deviations and those potential errors before they become a problem. So a couple of case studies. In this one, it was a lung SBRT where one of the beams was accidentally planned to go through the couch rail. The portal imager measured the exit dosimetry measured a problem. We measured hot at the middle of our exit images. And digging into the analysis within Adaptivo, we discovered that the error was a dosimetry error where I think it was a visiting dosimetrist, temporary dosimetrist, or potentially a new one, I don't know, habitually was picking the wrong couch from the drop down in Eclipse when they were making the treatment plan. And so although nobody caught this at plan review, that the image showed the couch rails and that the beam was planned to go through the couch rails, the patient was actually being treated on an IGRT couch. So that attenuation that was included in the plan was not there in the treatment delivery. And I just wanted to point out that a system that only uses the log files is not going to catch this type of error because the machine was delivering exactly what it should have delivered. It really was in an error in the treatment plan. Second case study is a lung patient, and we've seen this far too many times. I guess one is too many times, but it's kind of impressive, frightening, I guess is the better word, that this occurs still. There's a patient misaligned on one of their fractions, and you can see in the overlay of the cone beam with the planning CT where the tumor is located today, where it was in the planning image. The patient was misaligned. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So although the planned dose is shown here on the left, the delivered dose that was actually given was pretty significantly off target. If we look at the DVH curves for this patient, on the daily DVH plot in the circles, you see today's dose that was calculated on today's cone beam CT. The dashed lines are those doses mapped back to the planning image, and then the solid line was the plan for comparison. So you can see that under coverage of the target and on the day of the misalignment. But on the cumulative DVH, you can also see how that affected the overall quality of the treatment. Because here again, we have the solid lines for the plan, the dashed lines for that summation of the daily doses. And we're now providing both the information in DVH format as well as the daily images with the dose overlaid on it, so that the physician can make a decision whether this single day misalignment will compromise the patient's treatment. My guess on this one is that they shifted the couch the wrong way, that the therapist, it's that age-old problem of, is a superior shift a shift of the patient in the superior direction or a shift of the patient in the inferior direction in order to move the point more superior? Somebody got it backwards. Another example here is a head and neck patient lost weight throughout treatment, as most head and neck patients do. In addition, this one had a mask that was a little bit loose, which made for an even more inconsistent daily setup. and the effects of these changes were tracked with Adaptivo. In the 3D viewers, we can see some differences, especially here at the skin, but differences between planned and delivered doses. What you're looking at here is local percent differences between the plan and the cumulative delivered doses. We track the volume of the different targets, so you can see decreasing target volume as the patient lost weight. And on the DVH plots for the cumulative doses, you see higher cumulative doses than what was planned for some of these organs at risk, and not quite as good a target coverage up here for the PTV. So again, what we're really trying to do with this is give the physician and the physicist, but enough data that you can make informed treatment decisions for your patients. So just to summarize, Adaptivo really is designed to streamline and automate your pre-treatment QA, to give you that daily delivery monitoring, both with the exit image and with the 3D calculations for the daily and cumulative delivered doses. Everything is automated as much as we can in order to make this a streamlined process for you, so that you spend your time actually looking at data to make decisions with that data, rather than shuffling files around and saying calculate and then waiting for things to calculate. We're really, our goal in this product and others really is to give you the complete and integrated solution that fits well within your workflow and works with the devices that you've got, that your delivery devices that you're using. So I will happily take questions if you have any. Please feel free to enter them. If you would like more information or want to schedule a more in-depth personal webinar, you could certainly visit us at our website, standardimaging.com, or contact your sales representative through sales@standardimaging.com. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. I have one question here. Do I mean that the Adaptive module has incorporated a deformation registration engine? Yes, it does. We have a Morphonts algorithm that's used, and it is incorporated within Adaptivo. It runs automatically in the background when we're doing those cone beam calculations. I will happily stay on the line a little bit longer. If anyone has additional questions they want to enter in, please enter that into the question dialogue in GoToMeeting. Otherwise, thank you everyone so much for your time. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you again.